facilitate the educational session, we could not think, of course, of a more qualified Toastmaster than Toastmaster Samira Khan. She has been introduced by distinguished Toastmaster Nagarajan, and you may be familiar with her sweet face and refreshing voice as she graces many division and district events. Although she is young, she boasts a decade of Toastmasters experience under her belt. She is best known for winning the International Speech Contest of District 105 for 2 years in a row, in 2016 and 2017. In 2017, she presented her international speech at the semi-final of the World Championship of Public Speaking in Vancouver, Canada. When she is not busy with Toastmasters, she is doing one of four things: running her family business, raising her 3 sons, painting, or delivering stand-up comedy sketches. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please help me welcome the talented and sparkling Toastmaster Samira Khan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Reem. It's such a wonderful thing to hear when somebody calls you young. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I see several senior Toastmasters. I see some district champions. I see even division champions. It actually shows your eagerness to learn more, because whoever has participated in international speech contest, they know international speech preparation is like a vast ocean, and there are many wonders yet to be explored. So let's start. Some of you may be new to international speeches, and there are many here who are quite well versed, or maybe very well versed with whatever I'm going to share. But I sincerely hope that each one of you gets to take something new out of this session. And most importantly, if you want to take something out of this session, please take notes. I request you keep your notepads and pencils ready, because we are going to do a good amount of writing today. If you want to open your MS Word, that's fine too. You don't have to look at the slides, because I just have some points, that's it. It's not going to add any value until and unless you make notes on it. Okay, when you have to look at the screen, I will notify you, that's fine. You can take your eyes away from the screen and you can start taking notes. Now, let's start. When I was going through the expectations that were mentioned in the feedback form, most of them came under this category. Hold on, let me just start my slide. Nine months, I still haven't got the hang of Zoom. Da, 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 da. There you go. Okay. Can you see my presentation? Ditya Venkatesh, I can only see you on the screen now. Can you see? Okay. Speech ideas, articulation, impact, effectiveness. I kind of summarized the key expectations here. I will try my best to go over everything. All right. Now, the most common question I get is, what is the topic I should speak about? That's what we are going to start now. I want you to start writing on this. Okay, we are going to select your topic now. Keep your notepads ready. Okay, we are going to spend about 10 minutes on this. So I want you to make good use of this. And most importantly, don't fight your first instinct. Write what comes to your mind first, because after this session, you have plenty of time to ponder over these ideas, but now don't fight. Okay, the first one, think about your loved ones. Okay, you are with your loved ones, and I'm telling you, this is the last day you are going to live. What is your message for your loved ones before you leave this world? Write it down, whatever comes to your mind now. Why this particular message? What's the story behind it? some situation, some circumstances, something has happened in your life, and that's why you chose that particular message to share with your loved ones before you're gone for good. Okay, all these factors manifested itself to deliver this to you at that time. And that's why you thought about that particular message first, whatever it may be. Second one, a quote that is close to your heart. It could be any language, your mother tongue too, no problem. A quote that is close to your heart. Again, what is the story behind these? You can jot down some words, the people. One of my favorite quote is, everything happens for a good reason. And there were many circumstances in my life that I thought were absolutely horrible, but they happened for a good reason. So write down the circumstances that keeps reminding you about that quote. Where did you hear it first? From whom? Did you read it somewhere? And what are the experiences that made you think about this quote just now? And the experiences that reminds you about this quote over and over again. I hope you are writing it down, because this is the only way you can get your topic out. What do you feel about this quote? Some of us feel calmness, peace, tranquility when we hear certain quotes. Some of us feel energized, engaged, inspired. So what is your feeling about this quote? Never ignore your feelings about a particular situation. When you share your feelings to the audience, it makes you kind of a vulnerable person, and that's what they relate to the most. Okay, so we are done with your message. Before you leave, a quote that is close to your heart. Now we are going for the next one. Barriers. Now, what are the barriers in your life? For me, it is fear of failure. Okay, lack of discipline. Yeah, it's kind of surprising, but I lack discipline. And expectation. Sometimes I expect something and I get disappointed. So expecting, okay. Some people, my mother has this problem. She expects us to change. Okay, have you met people like that? What are some barriers in your life? I would be very happy to read some of the barriers in the chat box. Feel free to put it. Remember, many of us here may have the same barriers. It can be common barriers, but the stories behind, the experiences behind are different. So feel free to share some of your barriers in the chat box, please. Wanting to change people around me. Perfectionist, wow. Fear of judgment. I'm sure you can relate to most of these barriers that our participants are sharing today. Worrying what others will think, procrastination, fear of death. True. People do have fear of death. Everybody's scared of death. We are just too, scared to admit it. Too obliged to commitments. See? Now, for each of these barriers, what is the trigger? What is the cause? It could be cultural. It could be situational. Okay, what is the cause? And how do these barriers demonstrate its role in your life? How do these barriers demonstrate its role in your life? And why do you succumb to these? Most important. Why do you succumb to these? And when you're writing these, even later on, don't worry about the word count, opening, conclusion, body, choice of words. No, just pour your heart out. Eventually, you will see a nice structure coming out. Okay, we are done with barriers. Next, conflict. What are the conflicts in your life? it could be situational conflicts. Like for example, last year at the World Championship, do you remember Louisa's speech where she helps a man fix his car on the road? The entire speech was based on that particular incident and the conflict of thoughts she had at that time. And Aaron Beverly's speech, it was a wedding that he attended. The entire speech was a single story about that wedding and the conflict of thoughts he had in that, and the conflicting situations, because he was trying to hide, no, he was trying to save his best friend's shoes. Press Vasilev, changed by a tire. Again, that single story. Okay, these are tense or dramatic situations in your life that stands out. It could be a travel experience. Write about them, all that you can remember, and don't forget, when did it happen? Who are the people involved? Why do you remember these particular conflicts? When, what, why? Answer this for everything that you write. As you keep writing, you will be able to weave out a message that you want the audience to know. Okay, that's conflicts. Frustrations. What are the frustrations in your life? For my semi-final speech, I spoke about my relatives having to give their opinion on everything. And you know how it ruined a very important day in my life because I kept listening to people's opinion. Again, write down what triggers these frustrations in you, what causes them. The situations that triggered these frustrations. Anybody wants to write in the chat box? Any frustrations? It may be the same for everyone. Gender inequality, yes, Vibha. Okay, being disorganized, less money, yes. All these are frustrations and many of us may face the same. But again, the story, the people, the situations, they're all different. For everything that you write down your trigger, the people, the place, the why. The why is a very big factor. Okay. And for all of these barriers and frustrations and conflicts, write down later on, what did you have in you to overcome these? You may not have overcome these also, that's fine. You don't have to be a hero in your story, and that's absolutely fine. Okay. What do you have in you to overcome these? Okay, the what, why, when, remember these, you can write it down for each one. Please note it down later on. Okay, so we are done with barriers, conflicts, frustrations. The next one, 4 important people in your life. Just think about who comes to your mind first. Never fight your first instincts. 4 important people in your life. What important lesson did each one share with you? I'm not sharing anything on the screen yet, so feel free to write on MS Word or on your notepad. Okay. And why do you remember these people and these lessons, especially the lessons what they taught? What are the lessons each one taught you? Why do you remember? The occasions or the stories behind. Okay. Write down about the occasions too. For now, write down the words that will help you get back to these topics and elaborate on it. Okay. And don't be surprised if you find a link between all these. It may happen, it may not happen. It's fine. Sometimes you may end up finding a link between all these, the message, the quote, the barrier, the people, you may find a link. And my last tip for you for topic selection is go back to your icebreaker speeches, go through it, there may be some portion of your icebreaker speech that you want to expand. Maybe school life or college life or your first day at work, something. Go back to those speeches and go through it. Okay, and now we are going to look at ways to open a speech. And this, I'm sure everybody here has attempted speeches. Let's open the chat box. Okay. The next three parts are going to be quick, friends, because I don't want to spend too much time on structure. We have equally important things coming. I have not elaborated much on structure, so you are going to help me with this. These were the least expected actually in this session. I did not see very many people expecting this. So we are going to make it interactive so that you can take back as many ideas as possible. Okay. And remember, when it comes to the structure of a speech, there is no one size fits all solution. Open the chat box. Let's learn from your experience. What are the ways, impactful ways to open a speech? I am opening the chat box. Dialogue. Very good, Vibha. Yes. Question. Personal anecdote. Division K team, I want one person to, I have notified that person earlier. Please make a summary of these openings, which we will share with you at the end so that you can take a screenshot. Humorous quote that relates to the body of your speech. Yes. Asking a question. Very good. Very good. What else? Insult or a deprecating moment. Very good. Quote, asking questions, something new. What else? Police whistle. Only DTM Surya can think of that. Act out. Okay, an act out. Sing a song. Syed is a good singer. Smoke a cigar. That has already been done. Almost. Silence. Yes. Dance. Some world champions have attempted to fall on their face. Okay, make a sound related to your speech. There you go. Plenty of ideas, but it doesn't have to be an earth-shattering opening. Even soft openings also people will appreciate. Okay, you can ask questions or you can have a startling statistic like every year 11 million children die before they reach the age of 5. Okay, you can even add an emotion to that question. Would you be surprised if I told you that 11 million children die before the age of 5? Okay, a statistic asked as a question with an emotion involved. Okay, so you got several ideas, but nevertheless, I'm going to share the screen. The PR team, somebody from the Division K team will give you a summary. Okay. Powerful statement, phrase, quote, a startling statistic, fact, question. Okay. Imagine you are in the middle of a forest, something like that. Okay. Silence. And finally, what I mentioned is you can even go for soft openings too. You don't have to fall on your face or smoke a cigar, not necessary. It's up to you, whatever you are comfortable with and whatever is suitable for your speech. All right. The body of the speech is anything that supports your main idea. Some of the speakers opt for a single story all throughout. Some of them opt for 2 or more anecdotes and they have transitions. So anything that will support your speech. Okay. Ways to close. You are going to help me with this again. Let's hear ways to close. Let's have it interactive. Where is the chat box? Ways to close a speech. Face mask. Summarize, yes. Song, poem, emotional message, call to action, very good. Okay, raise a question. You can end with a question. I have you, I am ready, are you ready? Something like that. Okay, raise a question from the audience. Ask the same question for call to action, very good. Okay, reiterate the message. That is the main purpose. Statistic, okay. I would not recommend statistic because it's always better not to introduce new content in your conclusion. If you have mentioned the stat before or the fact before, you can repeat it. Okay, one single message to inspire instead of 5. Very good, Manju. Okay, you can end with a profound quote. Nice. See, you all know it already. Okay, repeat the opening quote. I'm sharing a slide now. Okay, please take a look at the screen and you will get a summary of whatever you're sharing towards the end by the Division K team. You can end with a poem, a song, even a joke, story. Okay, story as in a short anecdote, powerful call to action, anything that will drive the message home. But the most important thing here is this. Your judges have 1 minute to mark, and your audience also will remember how you left them. They may forget everything. There is a saying I have heard in Toastmasters. Your opening can be a wonder, the body of your speech can be a blunder, but the closing should be a thunder. I'm sure many of you have heard this. So the closing has to be a thunder for your audience to remember. And your conclusion has to answer these 3. This is very, very key. Okay. What do you want the audience to think after they listen to your speech? What do you want them to feel? Or what action do you want them to take? Remember it as FAT, F-A-T. Feel, act, think. In fact, writing down your conclusion first will give you a very good direction for the rest of your speech. Okay, this is very key. Feel, act, think. What do you want the audience to feel after they listen to your speech? What do you want the audience to think over, ponder over? Okay, and what action do you want the audience to take? Now we are going into speech hooks. I'm stopping the slide share because I want you to take down notes. Okay, otherwise you'll all be staring at the screen. I know, because I do that. Okay, now speech hooks are more like the colors and patterns on our fabric. Okay, they add beauty to the final work. Speech hooks add beauty to your speech. The first one, I hope you're all ready for this. Engage the senses. Okay, I grew up in Umalquan. It's a very calm and quiet town with mostly single-story villas. Now, my villa was painted red and white, just like all the villas around us. And there was a very big playground in front of my house where we played cricket every Friday with all the children from the neighborhood. Until sunset, we used to play. And my mom would yell from inside, "Come back, shower, do your homework, you stink like fish." We stink like fish because the beach was hardly 10 minutes from my house. In fact, from the gate of our villa, you can actually see the beach. At night, sometimes we can even hear the waves softly crashing against the rocks. Okay, I hope you got to see my house, the field in front, the cricket, the game of cricket, maybe even hear my mom, and those of you who like fish, I hope you got to smell fish. So engaging these senses, it takes your audience to another place and acts as a hook to keep them engaged. Okay, engage senses. That's second one. Help us see the characters in your speech. Characters, okay? Was the person tall with glasses or short, wearing a red cap, always complaining about the weather? Give us something about the character so that we have a mental picture of that person in our mind. Whenever you take the name, next time we will remember, it's that tall person with glasses he's talking about. Okay? Describe your character. Second. The third speech hook. Dialogues and monologues. It makes your speech more conversational rather than sounding like a newspaper report, a news reporter or a narration. Okay, For example, I asked my neighbor about the noise in his house last night. He told that a thief broke in. Okay. Versus, I asked my neighbor, what was that noise in your house last night? I heard it. Oh, you heard it. A thief broke in. It adds more color to our imagination. Okay. Wherever possible, add dialogues. And monologues also. Even you can speak to yourself, what on earth was I thinking? Something like that, okay? Dialogues and monologues. Next, exaggeration. Exaggeration. For example, the bus was so cramped, I had to squeeze myself on a seat, okay? Versus, the bus was so cramped, my knees touched my chin. The latter gives you a better imagination of how cramped and uncomfortable you were. Okay, rhetoric devices. Rhetoric devices, I'm sure many of you know it. Triads, metaphors, similes, alliteration, you can find them plenty in Toastmaster resources as well. Anybody can give me an example of a triad in the chat box, please? Example of a triad or a metaphor or a simile? Let's have that quick. Food, clothing, shelter. Yes, my father built this house with his blood, sweat, and tears. Good, bad, ugly. You look like a star. That is a simile. You are a star. That is a metaphor. Okay, you can add these to add depth to your speech content. Very good. So there you go. You already know that. Okay, exaggeration. Sorry, rhetoric devices. Okay, don't use all of them, please. Sprinkle it around your speech or whatever makes your speech effective. Next one, we finished rhetoric devices. Next one is repetition. It could be a word or a phrase or a sentence. Okay, it could be repetition, could be even at the beginning of a sentence or an end of a sentence. It basically emphasizes an idea. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Okay, some words are repeated. Actually, this is a book by Brian Wolf. I'm showing a book on the screen for those of you looking. This is a book by Brian Wolf. He's a past world champion. It's called the Speaker's Toolbox. And there are many speech tools in this. And I have used them in this presentation. I have only used 8 or 9, but this book has 47 speech tools. Okay, in this, I'm just going to read out some repetition for you. Okay, we will always remember. We will always be proud. We will always be prepared. So we may always be free. That's one example of repetition. From made in China to designed in China to imagined in China. You want this outcome. I want this outcome. We all want this outcome. Let's work together and achieve it. So that's the power of repetition to emphasize your idea. Okay, that's repetition for you. The next speech hook is questions. Questions as in checking in questions. Are you with me? Okay, can you imagine my situation at that time? What would you do in my place? Okay, you're all smart. You may have done something smart, but do you know what I did? Something like that. Just a question to keep your audience engaged. So questions. Next one. I hope you're all writing this down. I'll be showing just the titles of this later on because it's too wordy to elaborate this on PPT. Surprise. Okay, a surprise twist to your sentence. My relatives used to give me beauty tips to become fair. Okay, take some yogurt, mix some turmeric and apply it. I simply told them I'm not going to marinate myself. Okay, a small twist with the choice of word. And when in my semi-final speech, when I was talking about my university in the US, this is what I told. I went to a state where every Indian wants to go, Indiana, where tall skyscrapers and great sense of fashion do not exist. You see the small twist. It need not even be humorous, trust me, but that misdirection brings a smile and it acts as a hook. Okay, surprise twists. Next, humor. Humor is a great way to connect with audience. We all know that the exaggeration and the surprise twist are in fact two techniques of inducing humor in your speech. Division K and some other divisions of District 105, they have special sessions coming up on humor. It's a long session, so that's why I'm just touching upon it. Okay, so I will show you what I just shared so that you can compare it with your notes. Okay, engage the senses, characters, dialogues, monologues, rhetorical devices, humor, exaggeration, repetition, check-in questions, surprises. Okay, now you are listening to a speech. Imagine the speaker had all these and more maybe, but somewhere you feel that the speaker doesn't seem to believe in his or her own message. Have you felt it? That's where authenticity kicks in. Okay, what is authenticity? Can someone put for me in the chat box what they think authenticity is? Where is the chat box? Being yourself. Yes. Practice what you preach.
Samira, words matching the passion with which you're convincing nature.
Yes. Conviction, basically, mainly conviction. You're very right. Being honest, believable. That is authenticity. I have listened to speeches that seem very robotic in spite of having all these ingredients. The speaker doesn't seem to believe in his or her own message. So that's the big role of authenticity. It is simply passion, your conviction, your sincerity with which you deliver the message. Okay, when you strongly believe in your message, your conviction will show through, and that is a very big factor that contributes to your delivery. When a speaker speaks with authenticity, the body language, the voice, the facial gestures, everything falls in place when you believe in what you say. And finally, I want to show you some tips. Oh my God, I see the red already. I'll end with the tips. Okay, I'll just show the slide. Can you see the slide? Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Okay, your belief in your message shows conviction, and that makes you an authentic speaker. Okay, we will end with this tip. Weave in your style. Never let go of your style. You can watch the past World Championship speeches or other speakers that you like. You can get ideas how they transition from one idea to other, how they use their voice. You can learn from all that, but never copy or imitate any speaker. Your style is unique. For me, this works. Before I write a line, I say it to myself. If I find it right, I write it. So that has helped me. This helps me reduce editings also. Okay, understand the judging criteria. The backside of the judging criteria is a very good checklist where each part of the judging criteria is explained. How many of you have read it? Many of us read only the first part. Read the backside part, please. After this, that is your homework. Pen them. I have a book like this. I've been carrying it around for 4 to 5 years now. Okay, the book is hidden. There you go. Okay, so I write down events or circumstances or experiences which I feel I'll forget, because sometimes I have some nice experiences and I think, okay, I will share it in my next speech and I forget them. My memory is bad. So I pen them. So if you have a problem like mine, record your thoughts, use your phone to record anything that will help you remember them. Target speech. If you have a speech ready, this is a good way to get evaluations from multiple speakers on the same speech. Many club contests are coming up. Use that opportunity, sign up as a target speaker. Okay, understand your competition. Who is competing with you? You really need to know that. What is your competition? Your own fear, your apprehension, your hopelessness, your last best performance. All these are your competitors. Forget about who else is there as contestants. Rehearse with props and dress. And in fact, now it's on Zoom. You can even record it with your dress and see how you look. Okay, this will help you gain confidence. Rehearse, record, review, repeat. There is no shortcut. Your speech recording is your best mentor. It's kind of uncomfortable to watch yourself, but that's your best teacher. And in Zoom, there is record option. You can record it and even send it to your mentor, get a good feedback too. Okay, that's your homework. From our first exercise, write down your thoughts, ideas, feelings. Go back to your icebreaker speech, read the backside of judging criteria. And this is all I have to share in the end. Your stage time is a wonderful opportunity to share a message close to your heart, and that will help you win. Win what? Win the heart of the audience. And that win is far more precious than any trophy.